Hey everyone, I know you clicked on this video because of Rin and his supposed animation rework, and trust me, I'm going to talk about that, but first, let me quickly fill you in on something important that ties into the next update. We're diving into NEL Nagi, and I just want to remind you of something I mentioned down in the comments in my last video. If you check out the Blue Lock Rivals Discord and head over to the Common Questions tab, you'll actually see an official message from Miro himself saying that NEL Nagi is probably going to be a world-class character. And to make things even more interesting, they've opened up a special lobby just for Nagi with 3 question marks beside it. Now, if you've been around the game for a while, you know that even for the first master in the game, they never opened up something like this, not even for Loki. So I'm telling you, there's no way this is just for a mythic rarity. And that means get ready for some serious spins, because pulling Nagi will be much tougher, especially since he's going to be world-class. But now, let's move on to what you really came for, the NEL Rin rework. So yeah, I did mention in my previous video that Rin's animations are getting some small updates, like impact frames and subtitles, and I know some of you might be thinking, hey, that's not really a rework, just some minor details, Tim. But let me tell you, I have a strong feeling that NEL Rin might be getting a full rework soon. Maybe not immediately, but it's coming. And I've got a few solid reasons for why I think that. And of course, before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes a second, and don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss any of my future updates. Thanks a lot, I really appreciate it. Now let's get back into it. So let's start with the most obvious thing. They've already touched his animations. Now some of you might be thinking, well, they've just added some subtitles and impact frames, and you'd be right. But here's the thing. The devs themselves said these additions were supposed to come much earlier, like at the start of Rin's rework, so maybe they're just starting to get around to it. And honestly, I think this is a sign that they're working on something bigger for Rin. This character isn't just popular in the game, but he's also a big deal in the anime and manga too. Rin's one of the top players in Blue Lock, and he's done some insane things, like fighting off Isagi and Kaiser all by himself. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if the devs want to give him the kind of rework we saw with King's animations. And you know what? A lot of players agree. Rin's animations are overloaded with VFX. Don't get me wrong, the visual effects are cool, but they kind of overshadow the actual animation. I think a lot of us would love to see more fluid and impactful movements, rather than just a bunch of flashy effects. If they rework his animations in a way that's more like what we saw with King, I'm confident the player base would surge back to those peak numbers we saw before. 100,000, 150,000 players online. Everyone loves a good update, especially when it's for a character this important. Now let's talk about another reason why I think Rin is getting a full rework. Polls. After the NEL Rio update, as I remember, the devs asked the community which characters' animations should be reworked next. And, surprise, surprise, NEL Rin was the top pick. So that's a pretty big clue that the devs are listening to the community. A lot of people are not satisfied with Rin's current style, especially with the dome move, which, let's be real, doesn't look that great after the nerfs. It's just this giant visual effect that doesn't really do much anymore. People want to change, and I get it. The dash is okay, but it's also filled with too many effects. The sounds are way too loud, and if you compare his curve shot to something like Kaiser's volley or even his old curve shot, it's clear that something's off. If I'm being honest, they didn't really need to change Rin's style as drastically as they did. They could have just buffed his curve shot, made it stronger and faster, and updated his animations a little bit. But instead, they made him a NEL version, and it's divided the community. Some players like the new style, while others miss the old Rin. So, what do you think? Are you on the side that prefers the NEL Rin, or do you want the old U20 Rin back? I'd really love to hear your opinions in the comments. But here's the thing I've been thinking about. What if they did both? What if they kept the NEL version, but also gave us the old U20 Rin? Like, maybe add the world-class tier, keep his old moves like the dribble and curve shot, but give them a little buff in terms of power and speed. And for his dash, make it look more like the anime version, something smoother, more visually appealing, and not overloaded with VFX. And the curve shot? Let's bring back that old sound, the one we all loved. It would honestly be the perfect blend of old and new Rin. And when it comes to his awakening, how about we get something like the scene from the anime with the red demons? The devs could rework that scene with new animators like Abu or someone else, just to give it a fresh and exciting vibe. Trust me, that would be chef's kiss. I've also been thinking about how the community would respond to that. If they did a rework like that, combining both versions of Rin, giving him a world-class tier, adding more power to his moves, and fixing the animation, it would be a huge hit. And with that kind of rework, I'm confident the player base would explode. I mean, just look at what happened with NEL Rio. The excitement was unreal. If NL Rin gets this kind of treatment, we could see Blue Lock Rivals in its prime again, with a player count hitting 100,000 to 120,000. But if you're still wondering when Shido's rework will drop, yeah, I know I've said it a million times, but for some reason, I still see a lot of comments under my videos asking about Shido's rework, or when we'll see a new style for Charles, and I get it. Charles is basically the best addition for Shido, and he's even Rin's teammate. So it makes sense that people want to see him in the game. Honestly, it would be kind of strange if they didn't add Charles with Shido's rework. But let me break it down for you. We've got a lot of updates ahead. First up, let's skip over the update with NEL Nagi, because it's literally coming tomorrow. Now, if they don't drop the McNagi event alongside NEL Nagi, we'll probably see it next week. After that, we're most likely getting Yukimiya's rework, maybe even the second part of the summer update. And then Yukimiya's rework again? I know, they're giving him a lot of love. Now, what comes after that? Well, logically speaking, we could expect a NEL Nagi and NEL Rio chemical reaction event, which makes total sense. And after that, we can start talking about the next big rework. Is it going to be NEL Rin? Or are we going to get Shido's rework or even Charles' new style? It's tough to say for sure, but personally, I'm leaning more toward NEL Rin's rework. Again, just to recap, we've got NEL Nagi coming, then McNagi, followed by Yukimiya's rework. After that, we'll probably see some kind of NEL event with Rio, and then, fingers crossed, we get a major rework for NEL Rin, or maybe even Shido or Charles. It's definitely going to be interesting, so I'm excited to see what's next. Now, before I finish up, and as for the McNagi event, some people are saying it might launch right alongside NEL Nagi. Personally, I'm not sure if that's true, but we'll have to wait for the official announcement from the devs. What do you think? Should they drop the McNagi skin immediately, or should they wait a bit until everyone gets used to NEL Nagi? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So, to wrap it all up, do you think NEL Rin is getting the full rework he deserves, or are the devs just going to leave him as is? I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're always up to date on Blue Lock Rivals. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going, because at the end of the day, we all want what's best for the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.